Alright guys, it's Paula back today. Welcome back. I am going to, we're just going to create today. I don't have anything inked. I'm sorry, but it was a lot to try to come up with, and I don't even know really what I'm going to do. So, I just kind of cut some things out and thought we could just decorate them and see what we come up with. And I used some papers from the kit, and I just used white and thought we could decorate with papers from the kit. And I've got a few embellishments over here, Christmas embellishments. I got my tear tool, music sheets, a little piece of embossed paper, just, you know, not that much, but that's okay. So I thought what we could do is, let's see what we can start with. Let's decorate the, well, no, let's do this first, this little book. Do you remember, I know we did one of these in a video a while back, but I wanted to do one for this particular book. Oh, and I thought I would add some pink paper on the inside. So let me grab some out of this box of goodies on this side, if I've got any pink paper left. Yeah, here's a piece. It might not be as big as all the rest of the paper, but that's okay. I just put some tea stain paper in here. I'm making like a little journal book, and yeah. So I just want you guys to come along with me and keep me company. I hope you're having a good day. I saw that some of you like pink, some of you not so much, but that's okay. It's what makes the world go round, right? We're all different, and we all think different and like different things. So that's fun. Okay, so I think what we'll do, I really loved the other day when we did the little, I want to stitch this at the end. This is going to go in this is the little book right here. This is the book cover, and then this is the paper. So we got to decorate the outside of this book cover with, you know, something, but we need to ink it first. Now, I'm not inking these papers inside because that's just silly. That's just too much inking. But this is worn lipstick, and I'm going to do a light inking on this stuff so it's not, you know, crazy looking pink. What was I going to tell you? I just already forgot. I get distracted by one thing. Maybe we can put some music sheet on this, on the front. And I can grab up the paper pad, and I'll show it to you actually. That way you know if you are one of those that like pink at Christmas. You can look at maybe getting it. Okay, so that's all inked nice. And here are the inside pockets. So we're going to go ahead and ink those too while we're at it. Hope you guys are having a good day. I'm having a busy day. My husband is going to drive with my son-in-law to swap out at the hospital in Cincinnati with Charlie, and so I will be spending a weekend crafting, I guess. He'll be back on Saturday, but it's going to be a fast trip for him. He's going to go down and ride down with my son-in-law, and my son-in-law is going to stay with Charlie for the next week at the hospital. And my daughter will have to be back home to work, you know, because she missed all last week. It's really a difficult thing for them, you know, to do whenever you've got a little, you've got a sick one and you have to be available. So see, these pockets are going to go on the inside, and I thought we could decorate right here with some of the paper from the kit. Now, the question is do I have a piece that big, or do I have to pull one out? And I don't have a problem pulling one out. I don't think those will fit. Let me get some. We're going to do the music sheets too on there. Oh, here's some. Let's just use what we've got first. These trees are pretty, and even this snowflake would be pretty up in there. Let's just see what we've got going here. How about we do it like that? We could do it in both corners then. So fun whenever you can talk it out. You know, normally you don't get to talk stuff out. I'm going to draw it on the back side. I know I have a pencil under this pile of goodies, but now we've got 2 pencils. Make sure you guys are in camera. There's so much on my desk that I hope you can see what I am doing. Okay, I'm just going to line it up as if I was tracing it. Then I can cut it smaller if I need to. I kind of like to make it look like a matted image instead of the whole thing being that image. So we'll see. Okay, so there's that one. So now we want to put this one in the corner over here. And hopefully I'm doing it correct. Saves a lot of cutting too when you do it this way. I did put the Nutcracker in the book. I wasn't crazy about him, but I went ahead and did it for those who are. I've never been a real Nutcracker fan. Now, I did enjoy the story of the Nutcracker that I did, the book, the little golden book. I did enjoy doing that book, but just never been a fan. My husband took the girls and they fell asleep. I was like, they fell asleep? He goes, yeah. He said, you know, he said one of them was up moving around all the time and the other one just conked out. So I guess it wasn't their thing either. He took them on a Christmas date. That's what he called it. I'm going to take the girls on a Christmas date. Okay, so I'm going to cut this. I'm going to do it like this. Now, I know these pinks are different, but we'll ink this as well once we get it trimmed down to the size we want. I just want it to be a little bit smaller. So I'm just going to clip it right here. And then flip it around and clip it right there. And I'll do the same to the other one. That way we can have a little bit of the white showing in the background. And it will dress it up a little bit. There. Get my little small one out since we don't have space for a big one on the table. Okay. There's one of them. Here's the second one. And the fourth one. You kind of just have to line it up and hope you're getting it straight. How precise this cutter is I'm not sure about, but it gets the job done. That's the main thing. Okay, now we're just going to put some ink on it real quick, like. And if you notice, I'm working really fast so that we don't have to, so we can do as much as possible. I hate it when we're going through here and it feels like, you know, we're done as fast as we get started. And especially when there's a lot to do, you know. Okay, now, let me see. That's going to be one pocket. And I think those are going to be cute, guys. What do you think? I think I'm going to use, instead of using Fabri-Tac on some of this stuff, I'm going to try this Scotch liquid glue that I use for scrapbooking, card making. It does stick, and it has this little fine point. It does stick, but it's not as fast as Fabri-Tac, you know. But we don't have to be in a hurry for this. I'm just not in the mood to fight the Fabri-Tac today any more than necessary. Now, I don't know, it's been a while since I've used it on something like this, so it may make a total mess. And I don't know how, you know, you don't have as much time for forgiveness time like you do with Fabri-Tac. But I'll clean that glue up. I got a little bit of glue on that one, so now I know to be more careful with this one. But see, it doesn't dry all wavy. At least it hasn't been my experience that it does. And I love having the little fine tip pin. And I'm going to show you guys these so you know. You can get them on, I believe Amazon has them. I think I got mine at Simon Says Stamps. But you probably can get them on Amazon too. There. Now, let's see if this will take this glue off. It takes glue off everything else. I bet it does, because I did spread it out there pretty good. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put them in so we can make some little tags for them. And we'll let it dry a little bit since we're using this glue instead of the Fabri-Tac. But see how much faster this is than using Fabri-Tac? Oh my word. I wish this held fabric, and I wished it held as strongly. Now it does fine with paper, but I mean, I wished it held as fast on other things and held, you know, was super strong. This does great on paper and stuff like that, and this is what people use to scrapbook when they want to use a liquid adhesive. So, yeah, and this little bottle, I'm going to show you when I'm done here. This little bottle, I don't know who came up with it, but it's brilliant. I didn't have great luck with them at first. There's different color bottles, but you want the yellow. They're called fine line. They're fine line bottles is what they are. And you buy your tacky glue, your Scotch tacky glue. It used to be, I think it used to be Eileen's tacky glue or something like that. They changed the name of it. I do know that. See, now when you miss it where you need to put it, you got to pull the whole thing off. Can't just slide it over. There we go. I probably should clean that little bit of You don't want to leave it setting out like this for a long period because it will dry inside your nozzle. So just all you got to do is stick this little pin down in there, which is like it's like stainless steel or something, and you don't have to completely close it, but just keep it from drying, you know. Okay, so there's the inside, and we will take this paper and we will stitch it down the middle, but we don't have to do that together because we'd never get anything else done. Now we need to put a cover on the front. And so let's just use the same paper. How's that? And I will measure this paper. I'm trying to think what size it was when I measured it earlier. Let's see here. Though that's not going to help me because it's smaller. Hello. Wake up, Paula. And literally up until a little bit ago, I was having a rough time this morning getting my eyes to stay open. So it's 5.5 by, I think 5.5 by 6.5, but let me pull my trimmer out to be sure. I had to buy a new trimmer, guys. Mine started not measuring straight. 5.5 by 6 3/4. And I'm just going to leave it out so we can cut it. We should have enough room there in the middle. Let's see. 5.5 by 6 3/4. Get my paper going here. I'm doing the middle here so we can make sure we have. Let me straighten this. You just never know. I don't know if it's going to, it might, that's the actual size, so we might want to cut it smaller to fit. And I think also, I don't want to put it where we wrap it around. Just going to put it on the front. So that will make a difference. So see, that's smaller. And we want it to be like that. We can glue one on the back. I just don't want to wrap it around because it will make it too bulky in your book. And we don't want that. It will make such a huge difference by just putting it on the front and not having it involved in any kind of folding. So there we go. This has little Christmas trees. It's so adorable. Main thing is that you get your edges. And then you want to center it on the front here. And it doesn't have to be perfect. That's the thing when you don't use the Fabri-Tac. Once it's down, it's down. So that's all right. It's not perfect, but it's good enough. Now let's just see if we have enough for the back. We do. So we'll just cut this off and we'll go ahead and put it on the back because it will look nicer if it's on the back. And I'm just doing a really quick inking here. I would ink better than this normally, but this is really enough whenever you're using a color that's just slightly off from the pinks. This was the only thing I had that was anywhere close, but it looks good if you just do the white edges. So that's what I've been doing, is just the white edges. This time I'm going to try to get it where it's supposed to go. Okay. All right, so that's put together. Now I thought when we did that little tree the other day, I loved it. So we're going to do another one in this since it's a different book. I am going to ink a little pink around each of the triangles. All I did was use my triangle punch and then inked around them. I used 3 different colors, and I thought, since some of our paper looks like a tree, that why couldn't our tree on here be something besides green, right? And we don't want to use green and red in this book. So here's our trunk. I just did it just like we did the last time. And so I'm going to set it down on this matted areas where I'm going to put the trunk. That way it will look more planted than floating around. When you order these bottles, just so you know, I think you get 2 to a pack. I did have trouble with one in the very beginning, and I thought, I am not going to, because I bought the blue, like I told you, and then I'm going to see how I want to do these. I think I want the print in the middle, and the furry looking stuff at the top. Let's bring that one down a little bit. Okay, anyway, I bought the blue ones first. Well, they're really fine lined. And they're hard to squeeze. You know, you just have to squeeze hard. And so I knew that wasn't what I wanted. So I cap them because I wanted to keep the bottle in case I ever needed to replace the lower portion. But let me tell you, I've had this forever. But the very first one I pulled out of my package, this portion came apart. And I was not happy about that. I thought, are you kidding me? Because I was hearing all this wonderful stuff about it. How good it was and everything. So I went ahead and opened up the other one. And I've been using it since. And have bought another package since then because I wanted it on hand. And look how cute. I just love this little Christmas tree out of triangles. It looks very Christmassy. We're going to put our little star on here. Whoops. After I did this the other day, I thought, why haven't I done that before now? Because I just think it's adorable. In a Christmas book, you know. Okay. There we go. And I believe this Scotch liquid glue also dries clear. This is the glue, quick dry adhesive. It's photo safe, mess free, no run formula, but it doesn't say it dries clear. It says quick dry, which it is. But it's not going to be as strong as what Fabri-Tac is. Bonds paper to paper in less than 1 minute. Clean up with soap and water. Keep it from freezing. It's photo safe. Yeah, so it's okay for what we're doing, you know, for paper. So probably that's what I will start doing because I am going through Fabri-Tac, you guys, like crazy. So I may end up doing some doodling on here, but I'm not going to now because I want us to move on. And you'll get to see everything I do in the flip through. So there is, you know what? I don't have any little tiny lace with me, but that would have looked cute on there. If I had some little lace, I might have to get some out and stick on there before. Anyway, so there it is. Now we need to make some little tags for our pockets. But I might do little envelopes. Let me see if I have some little pockets right here where I can just grab them quickly. I do. But I don't want the ones that are super tea stained because they just don't look good with... I mean, all of mine are tea stained because, you know, that's the name of the game with junk journaling. But some of them are whiter than others. Like, that's not too bad. Okay, let's see if those are going to be the right size, though. If they're not, I'll just cut some. Yeah, they'll be fine. Because the tea stain paper is in here, so it will be fine. Now I've got to find the lid to my glue before I forget. Because I'm real bad to just leave it open. So I'm going to ink these up real quick. And I thought I was going to put music on this one, but I guess I got distracted. We'll do that on something else. Ink both of these real quick, like, and I'll put some pink fiber in this. I like the eyelash fibers. I did pull out some black tags, and I know you're thinking, black? Why would you use black with pink? But there are some black lettering in the kit. Or not in the kit, but in the book. Okay, so let's decide what we want to put on here. Let me see if I have any little packages. I do. I have some little packages. So maybe we'll put some of those on here. And believe it or not, I have some pink ones. Look at those, how cute. There's a little bit of blue in there, but I think we can incorporate some blue if we want to. And I think it would look cute if we put some washi under them at the top. So let me see what washi we want to use. I'm just going to pour them all out. We want it to be pink enough that it makes a difference. Let's do this little polka dot because it's not as out there in your face. And I also have a white with gold, but I didn't want to put the white up against this little bit of a tea stain. Listen, I spent the last day tea staining all of my, oh, I got to put some of this glue. I never send my washi tape out without putting glue on it also, a strong glue stick, because it just won't stay. It's not as, I mean, it's so funny how when it came out, it was like the most wonderful thing. It doesn't stay. I'm going to put it down low. Let me make sure it's straight. We don't want our little package to sit crooked. I'm going to put it down low on the tag here. And cut the other side off. And then we'll put a package on there. So, how about we put this little pink one with, and it's sticky already too, but I'm still going to add a little bit of glue on there. It's so adorable, you guys. I'll show you this up close in just a second. But it has dimension, but it also has a little bit of acetate on here. And it has some little blue. Has a little bit of bling on here as well. Isn't that cute? Just simple but cute. And then we'll put the fiber through it after we do the other one. If I can see what I did with the other one. There it is. Okay, so I'm put a little bit of washi on there. And I just rub it across the top of this glue stick. I'm going to lay the other one down here beside it so they're kind of even a little bit. I got too much going on. I need to move my trimmer out of the way. That might help. Okay. So let's try to get them as close to the same area as possible, but they want to curl up because they've been tea stained. Do you guys iron your tea stained stuff? Just curious because I learned from Wendy the other day that she doesn't iron hers, and listen, she has saved me so much work. She doesn't put hers in the oven on a normal basis either. She this does not want to lay straight. She said that she has these this plastic that she uses on her counters, and that she lays it out, and like 2 days, every couple weeks, she tea stains, and she will use a paintbrush and paint one side of her paper with tea and the other side of her paper with tea once the other side dries. So I just thought, that's awesome. So I really like that we have a little bit of blue right there, so I'm thinking, why not bring in a little blue one this time? So that's what we're going to do. This has acetate. The little bows are made out of acetate. If I can get it to hold still. And this one has bling on it also. Now, you don't want to just throw it to the side because it does take a little longer for this glue to dry compared to Fabri-Tac. Making sure it's straight. So there's our tags. And I'm going to lay them on top and set them to the side. And when everything dries, I'll put fibers in them. And you'll get to see them at that point. Okay, so one project down. One project down. Okay, I'm going to cover up my glue for now. Move the cutter out of the way for now, because you know it will be back. No, in my last book, my cutter just was cutting my paper crooked. And I was like, what? So we made this the other day, and we never had time to decorate it. And I had made it in the white. Can you guys see that whole thing? I had made it in the white so that we could decorate it for this. So the first thing we've got to do, I guess I could go back and ink it later. I'll go back and ink it later. This is where they're going to journal, but we want to decorate the outside. So this is going to be the inside, but I thought we'd decorate this part so that when they, well, we don't have to. We really just need to decorate, the back is a pocket also, so you can slide it in back there. Maybe we'll just decorate the flap. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that's plenty. Let me see if I've got some more of that. This paper, I like this paper too. This is part of the paper that was on, I think we'll just do the flap. This is the paper that was on the inside cover of the book. This was what was left of it. So, I'm just going to draw around that with my buried pencil. Oh, there it is. It's blending in. And then I'm just going to hand cut this out and a mark right there so I know that that portion I hope you guys are crafting along with me today. It's still really gloomy outside and rainy and just, ugh, you know, it's one of those kind of days. And Libby doesn't like it out there because it's wet. And so I'm going to trim a little bit of it off here and see if I got it straight. That's the big question. I'll do it like this. That way you guys can see it better. Now it looks upside down to you, but whenever I fold it down, it will be right side up. Now this one I am gluing all the way to the sides. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and glue it down, and then I'll trim any excess off. That way we don't have any lingering papers hanging over. Another thing that's really good about these, I'm not sponsoring them or anything, but another thing I like about these tips are you do not have to worry about it flowing out and acting crazy, and you know what I'm talking about when I say that. Now, you do want to line it up, so I'm going to line this up. I'm going to pull it down just as far as I can so I can line it up without sticking my hair that is wild. I don't want to scare you guys to death. Well, that didn't do too bad. Now, last time, remember, I was telling you not to double up and over mat and stuff on this because I did that on the first book that I made. I'm going to trim around this edge. And it just made it bulky. And so the point of making this was not to have bulk. So, yeah, I know it's hard for you guys to see, but I am trimming off the excess. I guess I didn't get it as perfect as I thought I did. Okay. But it does take it longer to dry. Like, I can still feel moisture in there. But I am going to go ahead and ink just this top portion for now, because I trimmed on the other portion here, so we want to make sure it gets its ink put back on. All right, now the only other thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to fold it in on itself, and I'm going to bring this down and show you. I will be attaching a button or something right here for this flap to hook under. And I probably will use some pink something on here. Right now I'm not sure, because I'm not sure exactly how I'm going to use it. But I did know I wanted to cover the flap. Okay, so I'm not going to ink it on camera. I'll only ink it off camera so you don't have to be bored about that. And we'll go from there. Okay. Now we've got, I'm looking here so I can kind of see what we've got to work on. Shows you what I remember. Okay, now I'm sure all of you at some time or another have made these pockets. Now the pocket I'm talking about is, it's going to be out of this paper, and this is how it looks when you cut it out. You just measure however long you want it to be, and and you score where you want to score. You don't even have to score, you can just fold. Oh, it looks like I'm gonna have to fix that with some washi. I must have scored too hard right there. But I'm gonna make pockets to just put tags and so forth down inside. And I just drew it out. And then you pull this up, and there you go. And you trim anything that's on the side that you don't like. Now, a lot of people will use double-sided paper for the back. And we could add something back there. And I'm trying to think of what it could be. But let's trim this real quick so it's not too big. And I'm just gonna see. I usually stick this portion down in and glue it onto a page, and then use it like a pocket that holds several things. So I don't worry too much about how straight this is because of that. And you can cut this completely off. But I kind of like, that's not straight enough. I kind of like it being up. And sometimes I cut it shorter than I do other times. I'm going to round these corners again. They kind of lost their shape. But there, see, you don't have to see that. And I'm going to put washi tape across here because I don't want that to crack open at any point. But I can do that off camera too. You guys don't have to watch that. Everybody knows how to put washi tape on, I think. Okay, so I'm going to glue this down on the sides. And like I said, I didn't really have a major plan. I just sat down and whatever popped up in my head, I decided to make, you know, and or to use in the video today. I'm real bad, you know. I might make something new and then not even have the pattern, but I'll come up with it again at some point. Okay, so I'm thinking maybe we can put some music sheet back here and just kind of slip it in. I think it needs something. And I don't know what the name of this music sheet is. I don't know anything about that. So I'm just going to try to get where you guys can see. Let me plug this glue. It's getting kind of there. So what I'm going to do is cut this bottom portion off. It looks like it's just hymnal music from a church. And then I'm going to cut straight up the side. And again, I'm not being precise. I'm just, you know, just cutting. Because I want to slide it down from this side, but I want to measure it first. Let's see. We want it to fit in there. Maybe we'll do it like we did the other thing, and we'll bring it down some because I want to tuck it down in there so it looks cleaner, you know. And then we can go like this and use our pencil because that was super fast. Okay. At some point, I'm going to have to find time to make myself a journal. The only thing is the December dailies, I don't do them anymore. I really haven't done them anymore because of my kids are grown. But if I can do it more like a album, you know, and just leave some places for me to journal, I can do Christmas Day with the grandkids, or Christmas Eve. We usually do Christmas Eve with the grandkids. That way they can do Santa at home, and then they go over to their other grandparents. You have to share with the other grandparents. You know how that is. And we're both really good to share. She and I both. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and ink this since it's going to go down inside. I love using music sheets. I don't know about you guys, but I could put them on everything. I guess it's that vintage flair it gives everything. Okay. Now, I'm going to slide it down. Make sure I can slide it down in here. See, it's still a little big. Of course it is. And now I'll probably cut to the point that it ends up too small next. If it does, I'll just trim around it. Probably should have done this before I made it into a pocket. But that would have been too easy. We're real close. I'll round the corner again. Okay. Pull it up. Yeah, see, I'm going to have to trim up the sides a little bit. I'm trying to see if I can avoid doing it on both sides. I don't want it to look off balanced. So I might do it a little bit on both sides. Sorry if I'm pulling this out of camera. I forget. I'll just be working along. Okay. Now let's round these corners again. Does not have to be perfect, guys. I know you realize this. It is going to be handled, and I'm going to ink right here because I know these edges aren't perfect, and I want it to kind of blend a little bit better. Slip this in. Don't you give me problems, little music sheet. See, by inking the outside there, you don't notice that it's not perfect. At least I think you don't. That side, I forgot to get that side inked. Yeah, and see, the more you bring it in on the music sheet, I think the better it will look. And we'll just go ahead and hit it with some ink here while we're at it. There we go, and then we'll glue it down. But I'm not going to do that right now, so we can move on to the next thing. Now, what we'll do with this is, oh, I think I want to add some, I want to add some lace across here. What do you think about that? My problem is always knowing which side is right and which side is wrong. Oh my goodness. Okay, I just grabbed this out of my little scrap box, and I just thought, you know, we need some, I think I'm going to need to use my Fabri-Tac if I can find it. I want to make sure the lace doesn't come off, because the Scotch glue is definitely a paper-to-paper glue. So it's not made to, look at that. See, it's already coming out. It's like it wants me to have to use a wipey. It's like, all right, you just lost twice as much. I have found if you lay it on its side, it does help some. I'm going to pull this down a little bit so I can see how it's going to look. Now, I don't want to put like flowers and stuff in this book because I don't want it to look like an everyday book by putting flowers in there. I'm going to let this dry before I glue the back part in. And once it dries, I'll trim off the sides also. But we are going to put something on here. I don't know what it is yet. Maybe just a button, or, you know, a button would be pretty. Like maybe some, something under the button. Maybe some of this pink doily that I've got here I can just cut off, and yeah, that's what we'll do. See, this is me. I say we're not going to do it, and then I do it. Don't believe me. No, you can believe me. That's one thing I can say about me, is I am pretty believable. If I say it, I usually do it. Okay, I'm trying to decide if I want it like this or down. I don't know, ladies. And do we want white or do we want pink? That's the thing. I think I'm going to do it like this, and then I can trim off anything I don't like. That's a good idea, don't you think? Okay, do we want white? Or do we want white and pink? That's so pink, it's so light pink that it almost looks white. Or do we want a bigger button? Never know. A bigger button might look good. It will bulk up your book. Here is a very vintage one. I think I like that one, because I can tell it's old. I've got this thing about knowing that it's old. When my mother passed away, my mother was a seamstress, and I got tons of buttons. Any kind of button you can imagine. So I have buttons. I have so many buttons that I have them color coordinated. And so, yeah, you know, I have a little button on top of them that says, this is blue buttons, this is green buttons. But believe it or not, pink is the one color that I don't have as much of. I think it's because I use it a lot. Okay, so we're going to use the Fabri-Tac on this too. And if I can get it to cooperate. Let's put it right here because I'm going to cut off any excess. Come out of there, you ornery glue, you. Look at that big old mess. It's enough glue for an army. It forces you to have a lot of glue because it doesn't stop. It just keeps on coming. And of course, I'm going to wait on the doily to dry before I trim that off. But I'm going to go ahead and put the thread in our vintage button. I have a lot of vintage buttons that are still on the package, you know, back when they were 8 cents and 10 cents, and that I got in a estate sale. And when I do my regular books, a lot of times I will just put a package of those in there. Listen, I have books lined up to do, you guys. I hope you like journals, because I'm going to be making every kind of journal you can imagine. I have one I want to make after Christmas that is a winter journal. It's not a Christmas journal. And it has some beautiful images and different kinds of fabrics. Not fabrics, but different kind of papers, you know, that are unique. And I'm only going to make one. So just giving you guys a heads up on that if you like to have a winter book to work on. You know, the thing that's nice about journaling and junk journals is that you can keep your seasons all lined out, and it makes it nice. Especially if your kids go back and, you know, they can remember that this was the winter of 2019 or whatever, you know. And see, that just helped it a whole lot, don't you think? Adding the button and the lace and so forth. Okay, now, I still don't think it's quite dry enough to this side. Let me flip it over without my button coming off. I'll go ahead and trim this side. My scissors, my old pair of scissors are getting where they're not quite as... I'm going to let that part dry. Let's go ahead and just glue this in since we've done everything else I said I wasn't going to do. What else is new? Okay, so I'm going to put a little bit of glue down in here so it can grab the top portion of that music sheet. But we got to keep our pocket open. And another thing, because this doesn't dry as fast as Fabri-Tac, I'm going to have to slip something down in there to keep it from sticking to itself. Okay, now, see how smart I was to use this, whether it was the wrong thing, because it grabs. And it does dry fast, and you got to get it where you want it. because it adheres your paper pretty fast. I didn't do too bad. I'm surprised. It doesn't seep through your paper though. Not that bad. So whenever we make tags for this, I'll make sure we use music sheets on the tags. I have some tags over here that have some gold on them. But I also was thinking journaling cards would be pretty in there as well. Okay, I can't stand it. We're going to see if this trims off okay. It did. Okay, so this is our pocket. I think it turned out well. And I'm probably going to do a little slit right here. And when we glue it, we'll leave the back as a pocket as well. And matter of fact, I don't know, it's still wet, so I think I'll wait till this part dries. Because my little circle punch, it doesn't like glue when it's wet. Okay, so we've got that done. I'm going to set that to the side. And we'll use journaling tags, and we'll use just regular tags or whatever we want inside that pocket that we just made. Okay, now this is going to be attached to the book. But I was thinking, I know it's got blues and kind of a blue-green, but I had decided that blue, that kind of a baby blue would be okay in this book. I thought about folding this up, but this is a wider than normal bag. So I may just, I thought I would take one of these pink cards and attach it to the front. Now we could attach it like a pocket. I think this bag is crooked. It is, look at that. Isn't it lovely that when you buy a brand new thing, especially when it's a name brand? So what I'm going to have to do is cut it and stitch it on the machine, I think. That aggravates me, guys. Or I can put it over, put a card or something over it, but still it's going to be crooked any way you look at it. But see, it's not quite wide enough. Okay, so what I had thought was we could do on the front of the bag or the back of the bag, because we're going to hinge this and let it open out, extra journaling space. And if we leave it on the back, we don't have to close it down or anything. But I have another one of these bags. I just got to find it. Hold on. I don't want to deal with a crooked bag right now. I think I put them in here with the other Christmas stuff. And of course, you know what that means. Yeah, there they are. It means you have to dig through stuff. But I put them on the top, it looks like. There was several different ones in this package. This was Snow and Cocoa also. Do you guys remember that from last year, Snow and Cocoa? I'm going to have to operate on that little bag because I love those little bags. And I think there was another one in here. Unless I left it out. I may have left it out and put it in with... Which is what I did, you guys. So it's somewhere... Oh, here it is. Hello, Paula. Wake up. Let's see if it's crooked too. Not as bad. Gonna have to contact these people. But it still is crooked, see? But not as bad. Let me see if this shows it crooked. It's not as bad as it was. But wouldn't that be cute like that? I wonder what I could do. I wonder if I can fold in just a little bit on this side to make it look like it's gonna fit. inside there. And then I could stitch it down the side. And then you would have a pocket on the front and the back. Do you know what I mean? Let's see. And I could even stitch it all the way down from the top to the bottom. I think that's what I'm going to do, is just fold it in and do a stitch straight down the sides. But now I will do this whenever I do all my stitching in my book. I think I'm going to do that, guys, but you get to see how I'm going to do it. I'm going to fold these in and on both sides, just barely folding it in, okay? And I won't hinge it until I have it all put together, but I have my hinge ready. Okay. I always use tea stain paper for hinging because it's thinner and I just think it does better. And if this is crooked at all, I just will straighten my card out. I'll get my, see how much, I just think that looks so cute. And it would look cute with some kind of lace there too, wouldn't it? I have some really cute, because I still have some of this collection from, I found this at these bags at Tuesday Morning, but for like $1.49 or something crazy like that. After I stitch that, then before I stitch it, actually, I'll make sure it's straight inside this, and then I'll stitch this along with stitching the sides. And then we can have a pocket here, and we can have a pocket on the back. And these will be stitched down. And how cute will that be? And then we'll add some lace. I've got several different laces out over here. Mostly white and pink. But see, I like that too, because it can just wrap all the way around. I'll have to look at I'll have to drag out some more laces. Okay, so that's what's going to happen with this. Now, how it ends up after the fact, I don't know. We'll see. But also we need to make a tag for the inside. And I thought, I don't think this is quite long enough, but that would be cute in there. I could cut another one and cut it longer. I think that's what I'm going to do. And then make it look more like a file folder inside, and then we'll do some tags here on the outside. And I have a clip, I think, that has one of these trees on it in my Snow and Cocoa. Look, now see, that even looks cute on the front, so why couldn't we have one there and have one on the inside? Except it covers up the book a lot. So we'll see. I'm going to put this to the side. I'm sorry. Like I said, I didn't know really what I was going to do. And I just wanted to make sure we could. I saw Gail make a big tag. It was a Patricia. I don't know. I don't know her. But I know that Gail references her a lot. And I have watched her channel. And she uses a lot of paper pages. Book pages. And so let me see how, oh, we're past an hour, guys, but let me explain what I'm thinking on this. I'm thinking on this that I'll use just a scrap of paper across here somewhere, and then decorate. And I mean, I could even put it up there, and then the poem will still be and then stitch around it and ink it, and I could make like a little pocket in the front. And then when you add it to your book, you just, you do more than one page together, so it's heavier. And then Gail used hers as a tuck, and she decorated it really pretty. Of course, she always does such a great job. Okay, so that's what I'm going to do with this one. I'm going to put it in the to-do stack. Well, guys, I'm sorry. I have to get off here because my phone's going to die. I hope you had fun today. I'll try to have one more embellishing kind of get together. I wanted to show you these black tags with these pink. I think these would look pretty on the page too. I don't know what I'll come up with, but I don't know what I know the book has black. I was going to show you the book. I told you I'd show you the book. Here's the book. I don't see black in there. What was I thinking? But I think some added black, just pops of it every now and then. Oh, in Santa's belt. So in this book, you get 2 of each image. And it's Sugar Blush is the name of it by Recollection. And it's the Hot Buy. But you can, right now, when I was in there over the weekend to get glue, they were 70% off. And they're normally $19.99. So, anyway. All right, guys. Welcome, new subbies. And you guys give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed today's video. And I guess that's all I've got. And I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye.